Welcome back to another West Virginia football going deep video. Today talking about the defensive line. Now that's an area people are a bit worried, and I have to admit, makes me itch a little. So I took a closer look, and for once, scratching an itch helped. Of course, part of the reason everybody is worried is because we lost Stills. And he was a 4-star recruit, a star player, and the face of the defense for nigh on to forever. The idea of a defensive line without Stills just seems wrong. And then we also lost Jordan Jefferson. The coaches had been building him up figuratively and literally, and last year he started to produce. Then he left. And, well, coaches have been hyping some of the other players, but right now fans just don't want to buy into the hype. But, hey, we're fans. Come on. We got to buy into the hype at least a little. I took a look at the recruiting stats for these players. And once again, numbers, well, they don't make the plays. And these stats are not up to date. But just for comparison, none of them rank as high as Dante Stills. But pretty much all of them were higher ranked recruits than Jordan Jefferson. They are mid-range to high-end 3-star recruits. That's good, solid recruiting. Then you bring them in. You get them in there with Mike Joseph, the nutrition program, and take note. Hey, we've known about Mike Joseph for a long time. He's one of the stars of the team. But players have also been talking about the nutrition program as much as they've talked about Mike Joseph lately. And I think they have really upgraded that program. So Joseph gets the players stronger. Nutrition program gets them healthier. It's not just weight, it's quality weight. So we're making progress in a lot of ways. Now let's take a look at the players that we are going to have this year. Of course, that starts with Sean Martin. Come on. Why aren't we more excited about Martin? We were excited when he was recruited. Now, he hasn't made a lot of noise. Unlike Stills, he didn't come in and start, and play forever. But he took over the starting role last year. He's coming into his own. Down the road, he may be better than Stills. Of course, he's a different player, different position. Coaches, well, let's see, we've also got Vesterinen coming back. And a lot of us like him. If you pay attention last year, in those last 4 games, when the defense was playing better, playing faster, you were hearing Vesterinen's name. You heard it in the spring game. He can be disruptive. Of course, with all of them, the question is, can they be consistent? Lockhart did well. He's had that extra year now with Joseph, the nutrition program, and the coaches. So I think that's going to be solid. We've got Asani Redwood. He's the guy the coaches have been hyping most of the ones that they recruited out of high school. Now, he redshirted last year. Through the spring, he's had some injury problems, so we haven't gotten to see him. So it's kind of hard to get overly excited about a ghost, but I think we'll be seeing him on the field. Then Lawton, another guy that we've quit talking about. Come on, we've got 2 in-state recruits who could be playing this year. Now Lawton didn't, make a big splash last year. He had some work to do still, and he too has had some injury issues. But yeah, we've got a good chance of seeing him. Could be on there. We could have 2 West Virginia players on the line. First time since we had both of the Stills brothers playing. That doesn't win games, but it's still exciting if you got West Virginia blood. Now we've got other good players who've been there for a couple of years, putting in the work, putting on the weight, gaining strength. They've also been active in the portal, and I think they've done well in the portal. We saw Hawkins in the spring game. He was all over the place. And that's a good West Virginia offensive line. We had Yates playing center, yes, but still, Hawkins disrupts. The 2 guys we haven't seen yet of the bigger names are Durajaye, who actually, in terms of the recruiting numbers, is the highest one on the team. One service actually had him as a 4-star. Things didn't work at Kentucky. Let's hope they make him work here. And then we picked up Mulba from Penn State. You're talking about a top program. You're talking about a big player who, from all description, plays a lot like Jefferson. So, will we miss Stills? Of course we'll miss him. We'll miss him on the field, and we'll just miss him emotionally. He was fun. He represented the team and the state very well. But now we have other guys out there. They're going to do the job. They're big. They're strong. They're going to play fast. They're going to play tough. Do I have any worries? Oops, yep, I do. Remember last season when all of a sudden, seemingly out of nowhere, those holes started to open up right up the gut of the defense? And I still don't know what was going wrong. I figure the coaches do. I like to think they do, and I like to think they've been working on fixing it. Now, was it just a guy who was out of position? Was it a design flaw in the defense? Don't know. I think they'll have it fixed this year, whether it's personnel or scheme. But I still see those guys running up the middle with no defensive player anywhere near them. I'm not going to say I have nightmares about it, but boy, when I think about it, it does still scare me. But I think we've got the players. I think we've got the coaches. Jordan Leslie has coached well. Last year was a down year, but it was not because he's a bad coach or the other guys are bad coaches. It was a problem for many, many reasons, and coaches can't fix everything. You can't run down to the store and buy what you need. So they had to make do. They did what they could. Maybe they should have done some things a little differently. They've admitted that what they did didn't work the way they wanted it to. But it started to work those last 4 games, and if you watch those 4 games, it was fun. They didn't win them all, but it was fun to watch, and it showed promise. And I actually think we're going to see a more consistent, more aggressive defensive line. We may not be familiar with that many of the names yet. But I think in December, we're going to have some really good things to say about some names that have become very familiar. Next video, I plan to talk about the linebackers, and I will include Bandit, Will, Mike, and the Spear in that. Then we'll get to the defensive backs. In the meantime, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, and try not to think about those runs up the middle. Let's look forward to seeing those get stuffed. See you next time.